Sivarama Prasad, actually visiting faculty at IARE and explaining about fabrication product development as an introduction, just an overview of this. See, normally the products and services, they are the regular requirements for customers in the society. And they touch the people every day, either as a need or a convenience or a comfort or a special. And they may be doing or touching the lives either regularly or repeatedly or occasionally or sometimes emergency. What happens is, without this service or a product, in the modern world, we are not able to think of a human life. So what is happening? These become the need of the society. And if you see, these needs will be changing continuously. There is no end for needs. Whatever you thought dreams as yesterday, that means in the past, they may be becoming the comforts for today. And finally, they are getting into needs of tomorrow. That means whatever we dreamt last time, they are becoming the regular needs of today. That is how the industry is growing and the people's life is also growing. Normally, industry or market, they always strive for making the things to happen so that they can serve the society or people. And that is what is making the business. And what industry tries is always, it will be searching for products. That means identifying the things, select it and develop it, and finally they supply it to the people. And here in industry, generally we call it as 4M. That means man, material, method, machine. And the next one is the 5th M, that is called as money, but it is not explicitly told. But that only drives this entire industry. These products, what happens is, the industry is interested in making raw materials into returns. And the people, they want the resources to be converted into products. So the both are being served by this industry as the people need, and then for the industry growth. When it is happening like this, what happens is the fabrication or model development is becoming the important activity to make any product. Earlier, if you see, this is an activity, but it was very limited. It is like a manual activity which is being done in the countryside, and it was not very high volume. So it was serving only for a limited quantity for limited people. The two mostly in the villages and countrysides. It was not very big business. It is run as a craft than as a business. Later on, the mass production has come and people have started taking this, and it has become a growing industry, which has brought the volumes into the picture. When it became volumes, what happened is the manual elements have come down, and the product development as a scientific process, it has become the major activity in manufacturing. In product development, the design is the first step. That means from thinking it is going to making, and before that, the thinking has to formally make a drawing. That is what is coming as design. And then in the second thing is engineering. Engineering is the thing which makes the products. So design, engineering, they both clubbed together, they formed as a product development. So in the design is the first stage and manufacturing is the second stage. And this product development, the initial stages up to the design is majorly controlled by R&D. That means that is where the development, research, everything starts. And if you see product development as an engineering, it has got two stages, two methods. In fact, one is forward engineering, another is reverse engineering. Mostly forward engineering is the traditional process. What we do here is, we'll conduct surveys, we'll go for studies, and we'll identify what are all the things required for a customer. That means this is a process where customer needs are being identified. The needs, the convenience, comfort, specials, regular or repeater, occasional or emergency, all these things will have the different concepts. That means a need is to be studied in a different way than a comfort. And a regular one is studied in a different way than occasional or emergency. In case of emergency, it is a direct immediate need. Whereas if it is a regular, it may not be immediate need, but it has to be looked at different way. And the same way, customer never tells, I want this. Customer always tells, it should be like this, it should be like that. The designer only is converting that into a feature. That means a product. Suppose you want a pen. He says, I want to write. But he will never tell, I want a pen or pencil or color or this. The designer, he converts that into a feature. And while making it feature, then he will start working on function, then a form, then a finish, then what is to be measured, then how you have to take it. All these things he will take it. While doing that, you create a concept drawing. That means whatever is in the mind, he converts into a drawing, so that drawing is a language which is read by everybody in engineering, that is in a product making and all. The drawing is the most important language. And while making the drawings, he will consider a lot of things of manufacturing, testing and all. So what happens is, we have to make a prototype. The prototype means it may not be fully designed, but there will be some doubts, there will be some things which you have to, what we call, validate, verify. So with some concepts, first a drawing is made. And with the drawing, a model will be made, either in a software or a physical model. Software model is also made, but only to see an extent of what we thought, has it come or not. Whereas the physical model, it is taken as a prototype. There you will use it for regular functioning test. That means the form which we have seen, is it coming? Or the function, what we expected, is it coming? Or the finish, whether it is like that, or we have to improve. Such things, it will give a visual effect. Then after that, trials, tests, verification and all will be done. Then finally what comes is a product, a drawing. Okay, testing, everything is done. Then we do value engineering on that. That means whatever function we are giving, whatever finish we are giving, whatever feature we are giving, is it giving value to the customer? If it is not giving value, he may ignore it. So whatever effort we are making, whatever we are doing, it should be having a value to the customer. So with this, we check the function. So first step is, product is designed for function. Then we write some specification. This is the first stage of forward engineering. Suppose we want to follow some other next method, that is the second method, reverse engineering. Here what happens is, you will identify the product and functions, everything, but you don't go for the surveys or studies. Survey and study, and from that customer getting it is a laborious process and also a very difficult one. So we'll skip that. We'll select already which is there in the market. You take that product. Or already which is running in the market as a good or a bad or to be improved. Some products you will select it and you will compare it, and finally you will come out, yes, we want to take this product. For that, you make all the function, specification, and then testing. Once you test it, after function and observations, everything, what you do is, you disassemble it. part by part and make it everything, record it. That means you have to take the components very carefully and don't spoil it. You have to take the measurements of it. From that, you have to make a drawing. So here the activity is slightly simplified, but we'll be doing some model which is already available. So making a drawing, everything is easy. And after that, reassemble it and retest it. Whether the same function what you have tested in the earlier, is it coming or not, you have to see. Once you see that, so more or less you have dismantled and you have assembled it, so the product is working. Then from the drawings which were made, we will make a prototype. From that prototype, you will again, that means it is a model made by you. It is not the model which is available. So a model which is made by you, you will test again and compare it, how it was working, whether the function difference is there, whether we could be able to give the same effect or not. And after giving that, what we do is, we do a value analysis. Value analysis is done mainly, that means whatever function, whatever value we are giving, is it just optimum, or are we giving more, are we giving less, or oversized, over product, like that. See, normally what happens is, already when it is there in the market, either you have to give at a lower cost or you have to give it at a higher value. That's why this value analysis is very important in this case. Otherwise, when you make it, people think it is copied or the cost is more, a function is not good, like that. So you have to be very careful while giving the product. Then we will get into next stage. After this prototype and concept drawings are tested, now we have to study it for whether it is manufacturable. Sometimes what happens is, we can do it one or two, but when you have to do mass production, it is very difficult. Some process may not be there. Some of the manufacturing methods are very difficult. So we'll do design for manufacturing. That is one activity. That means whatever design, whatever functions, features we have given, we'll discuss with the manufacturing people and then redesign or fine-tune it so that you will make a drawing which is easily manufacturable. And earlier, because we are making very low volumes, it was not a problem. Disposal or throwing it off or waste, everything was less. But when it is a mass production, when you are doing it in millions, you have to consider you are not spoiling the environment. So when environment is there, you have to think whatever items you have designed, whatever items you are wasting, whatever items you are disposing, or during the process, what is the pollutants which is coming. All these things you have to be very careful. If there is anything which is going to be hazardous to the human life or environment, it is preferred to stop that. As you go, when the mass production, lot of waste will come, so you have to avoid that waste. Lot of gases will come, you have to avoid that. Otherwise, while making the product, you are putting the people into the danger. That means the society itself will come into a hazard. That's why what you have to do is design for function, design for manufacturing, design for environment. All these three are very important. With this, the design is more or less confirmed. That means you have come to a final concluded design. From these, you have to start the manufacturing. So this is the second stage. Here, manufacturing, quality assurance, and conformance. That means one model, when you are making, it is easy to make a quality. But when 100 times, 100 people are making, and it is coming in volumes, every day it is coming, you have to be very careful that the same quality is maintained. That means assuring the quality becomes very, very critical activity. And while manufacturing, it is not that everything you can do it. You have to take help of different people. You have designed. While designing, it can be done in one area. But when it comes to manufacturing, you have to work with a lot of people. That means You have to jointly work with OEM. OEM is original equipment manufacturer. That means the man who generated that project. Then tier 1 suppliers, next stage suppliers, and strategic partners, and subject specialists, certifying agencies. And these are all time bound. It is not that continuously you will be working, but it will be based on some agreements, memorandum of understandings, or NDAs. All these things will come into the picture. While doing that, in industry, recent times, program management is one term being used to take care of the entire activity through a champions. So here first you will take whether we will make it or we will buy it. Any product. You have formulated development, whether you will buy it or you want to make it. Suppose you want to make it. How many things you will make in-house? So many things you will make it outside. When you have to make it outside, there is a process called RFQ. RFQ means request for quote. That means you will float a drawing and there will be different suppliers, specialists who are making it. They will be coming to your help so that it is a business partnership. That means they make the product for you and they collect the charges. And you need not make entire machinery and all. Same way, you have to develop lot of suppliers. There will be some standard components, some bought out components, some proprietary components, some electrical components. These things, everything you cannot make it in-house. So you have to develop supplier. And there are some specific tools for making your product. That tools also you have to develop. So in the program management, you will consider all these things and deal with the suppliers. And then when it comes to the development, you have to start looking at raw materials, child parts, then assemblies, then this logistics, supplier, transport, collection, distribution, all these things. This is on one part of that. And the second thing is, whatever you want to do in-house, you have to make a process, you have to make the facilities, you have to buy the equipment, you have to make all the arrangements. And while doing that, until the testing and dispatch, you have to take care of it. That is in-house system compliance. When OEMs or when anybody is asking to supply, you have to form some system. Otherwise, you cannot guarantee the product every day in the same quality, same reference, same way. So you have to develop some systems for that, quality systems, manufacturing systems, all those things. This is on the softer side. But when it comes to the physical manufacturing, you have to see land, building, infrastructure, all the services, manpower, investment, budget, and where from you take the engineering or technology, and how you will train the people. All these things is one plan. That means manufacturing, resource and all. Now the product is ready. Here you have to see how you have to distribute it to the market, how you want to sell it, how you want to pack it, how you want to deliver it. All these things, it is one activity. Then comes warranty, repairs, maintenance. That means you have given the product. Suppose if it is not working, what you have to do? Or if it is working, after 6 months, it has to be repaired. What you have to do? Or when a product is launched, there will be a product life. For example, 5 years, 10 years. So for that time, you have to support that. So warranty, repairs, maintenance, all these things. So once a product development is taken care, until manufacturing, it is one activity. After manufacturing, it again goes to a different one. But while making the product design itself, all these things have to be considered. Then what happens is, in a simple way, if you want to slow it, input is from the customer, that is given to R&D, and R&D gives as output as a product design, that is given as an input to the company where it is manufacturing, and the output is a product, and that product is ready. It is given for marketing as input, and from marketing output is directly to the customer. So from customer, whatever is selected as a need, you have given it to the market in the product. While in this stage, input, output, you have given. But these are all wanted inputs. There are some unwanted outputs. What happens is, while making the product, you may run into some problems. You may be producing waste and you may be developing some scrap. All these things have to be returned. And if they are not returned, what happens is, it gets as a junk in the society. What you will do with that? So most of the time, it is better to work as a closed loop. That means you have to take that waste, you have to recycle it, reuse it, or you take the feedbacks, whatever is good, continue it, whatever is wrong, you correct it, and learn the lessons and do improvements, upgrades. This is a closed loop. One on the information, another on the product side. Otherwise, what happens is, over a period with mass production, you will be polluting the nature, or there will be a lot of items which they go as waste. We don't know what to do. And that becomes a major activity. Whatever you have done today, after 5 years or 10 years, it becomes a hazard, or that is the reason why in the beginning itself you have to consider design for environment. At that stage, you have to think of disposal, recycling, reusing, how to operate the waste. These are all the things. If you see, go back to your old cultural things, mostly we were doing from nature. That means agricultural farmer is producing the vegetables or paddy, then he is giving it to the food products, either a hotel or cooking, you're making it food, then you're taking it, then human waste. If you see that old process, most of the things are recyclable or they go into the bio. That means degradable in regular environment. With industrialization only, we started some elements by adding chemicals and all. Some products are coming as unwanted products in the environment. We have to take care of that. That is the first activity of a product development. Unless they take care, we will not be doing justice for the engineering. Here what happens is, in product manufacturing, at the time of manufacturing, it has to take a shape. That shape is given by the designer. The designer only is visualizing the idea and is converting that into a drawing. So, design is very important. That means the needs are being converted into features and print in the sense, a drawing. While doing this, initial days, design process was a major activity. Design process means it is a step-by-step processing, and you prepare the sketch and you discuss with the manufacturing people and you make the product to be visualized as a product. It is not available. You are creating that. So while creating, you will make it into a drawing so that it is others can understand that. So traditionally, it is making a drawing. That means a product is being converted into a drawing and it is offered to the market. So it a drawing form. For example, if you take, suppose I want to, if you ask me how a man is, an artist, what he will do? He will just make it on a drawing and he will show you this is how a man looks. The design process also something like that. That means a product is made into a drawing. Then, while doing this, people have found that over a period, initially it was good. Over a period, what is thought is, whatever we are converting the needs, it is only at the surface level. That means, just I am looking at you, I am taking it and making it, giving it. There is something else which as a human being expects. That is not being touched. So over a period, what happens is, market understood that yes, you are giving the products, but there is no feel for it. There is no experience on that. It is something like just as someone making a food and giving it and putting it on the table and going. There is no feel for serving. There is no feel for eating like that. So a new development, that means an improvement on design processes, is a design thinking. It is a new mindset. That means at the time of collecting the data itself, you sit with the customer, you will understand his problem, and while making, you will think as if you are doing it. So you are bringing, instead of just mind, you are bringing your body, mind, heart, everything into that. That means you are doing it with something like a feel. So whatever you are doing, you are thinking that human-centric or user-centric. Earlier, the design or when you are making, it is more of, I am giving you this product. This is what is this. You use it. In the second case, it is not that. I work with you, take the product, whatever you like it, that I am doing it, and I am offering it to you. Then, taking your feedback, if something improvements are to be done, I will do it. So, this is how we are going deep into the human-related activities. So, the feel is better. That is how the design process is being improved into a design thinking. Now, most of the things it is coming is that additional thing. Earlier, if you see the chart, features were collected, needs were collected, they are being converted into technical. From technical, it is going into drawing. Whereas in the new process, you are involving with the customer, you are experiencing as if it is done by him, how he feels, and what is the problem in this when you are digging. So that means you are involving your body, and when you are converting that, you are involving your mind. When you are giving a shape, you are working as if it is your own child. And when you are making the product for test, you are applying it so that you yourself are using it. And finally, when you test it and give it, when the people say it is good, then your soul, that means you feel very comfortable. Suppose if it is told that it is not good, you have to improve, then you will cover it, convert it, again give it. That much you are doing. Whereas in the earlier design process, you make it, you give it, and if it is not working, yes, throw it, or next time again improve it. That means you are not bringing the user into the picture, except in the first stage. In all other cases, you are doing only whatever customer told, I am giving it. Earlier it worked. Why? Because earlier the time, development time, if it is taking 1 year, within that 1 year, users' thinking or ideas are not changing. Whereas now it is not like that. The time we require, every month, every day, the ideas are changing, the needs are changing. So, if you take an idea about 2 years back and if you come to the market now, nobody will buy it. That is why the design thinking is always with the customer and then trying to give more and more. This is another form. If you see how the product fabrication moved, olden days it is crafts. That means mostly it is being families are doing it. There is culture and it is inherited. Over a period, what happens? People started going to the urban, taken up studies, higher studies. So this countryside arts, it has taken its death. And with industry, the mass production has come into the picture and design process has come. Now, design thinking is one step ahead. That means it is going to give a feel. You can see in the market in lot of products. For example, you see four-wheelers. A lot of developments have come. Earlier it was only a car. Now CD has come, USB has come, Google Map has come. Appliances, if you see only voltage, Now programming has come, ironing has come, automatic, fully automatic, lot of things have come. Online, offline, like this, the people, the industry is taking the need and then developing it. And in the process, what happened is, earlier, we used to work in departments. People in department, that was today you give it, after completion, second department, after completion, third department, then it was going in a linear. It used to take a lot of time. And also, it is not giving an overall picture for anybody. That is found as a traditional department work. And it is not in line with the requirement today. So what happened? Cross-functional teams, it has come. What happens is, the regular departments will be there, but across there will be champions who will be running these new products, systems, projects and all. With this, what happened is, the people are working only timely for this project, and otherwise they are working in the regular department. So this way, there is a cohesion. In a way, if you want, it is something like a, what you call in a games. You see cricket. In cricket, what happens? Bowler will bowl, batsman will hit, it will go to fielder will take it, and he will give it back. That means it is in a sequence, one after other. And no player will go to the ball. He will be waiting. The ball will come to him. In department work, it's also same thing. Work will come to him. He will not go and do that work. Work will come, he will finish it and he will give it. Whereas in concurrent, what happens is, all people work like a team. You see, for example, in a football, while starting, everybody will be in their positions. But the minute game starts, everybody will be running behind the ball to hit it to the goal. Here also concurrent engineering, everybody will be looking at it. He wants to complete the work and give it back, so that the cohesion and the people working and each one having the knowledge of all the people and the product, it was better. And nowadays, more and more these cross-functional teams work are going on. So what happens is, from traditional, we have come to the design thinking, and from traditional departments, we have come to the cross-functional teams. Like that, when it comes to this, there is nothing called only one department. I know only this. I am only electrical. I am only mechanical. There is nothing like that. Everybody has to know everything. And finally, we have to give product to the customer. It is something like that. If a marriage or good function is happening in our house, we don't take positions differently. We work together and make it a success. This concurrent engineering is like that. So, if you see the fabrication, the steps look very simple and it looks same. And the journey also, when you read it on the paper, it looks same. But every journey, it is different. It is a challenge. Why? Because the people are changing, the taste is changing, competition is changing, requirements are changing, and technology, which is available, not available 20 years back, is available today. That time, what people thought, telephone itself is a big luxury. Today, telephone is gone. All videos, everything has come into the picture. So what happens is, every product, with the time, with the people, with requirement, with competition, it is a new one. It is a learning. So don't just let it take it. Fabrication is nothing. And another thing which you have to be very, very carefully you have to see is, because of these products and services only, industry is creating life, is creating business. There is so many people have life in this. Industry is giving life for many people and a lot of joy for many. Of course, it is creating the wealth also. And all these things is being done with a look on environment. That means you are not creating imbalance to the nature. And in this process, product design, development, manufacturing, they have become very, very critical. And it is very vital for this making the product. So we all have to be, it is our duty in this industry to support it. And as an engineer, prime function being effectively making the thing, it is our highest responsibility and accountability. So let us all put with all our body, mind, heart, and then make a fabrication and a product development really a good one. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.